Hotline Miami 2 Wrong Numbers action is so loud and so intense that upon hitting the pause button, reality feels like it's playing at half speed. This is the type of experience that invites you in to sit closer to the screen and crank up the volume higher than usual. One of the lingering memories of the first game was its heart-pounding techno soundtrack, so yeah, allow me to get this out of the way early. The music in Hotline Miami 2 Wrong Number is absolutely outstanding. But to revel in this game's slick style too much would be a disservice to its ferociously entertaining and challenging top-down action. This is a confident follow-up which improves upon the original in almost every conceivable way. Hotline Miami 2 is more varied, better paced, and more challenging. This is a tremendously stylish game which entertains throughout and delights in forcing you out of your comfort zone. Hotline Miami 2 Wrong Number is a top-down twitch shooter in which you play a host of psychopaths who, for an assortment of reasons, are required to enter various buildings and kill everyone therein. They achieve this using a variety of weapons: shotguns, automatic rifles, silenced pistols, and even their fists. But regardless of the delivery method, death comes quickly. Don't expect to soak up damage or pick up health packs here. This is a game where a single bullet can kill you and your foes, where on-the-toes tactics and a quick trigger finger can be the difference between you completing a level and tapping R to respawn over and over and over. How you choose to clear each area in the game's 30 or so levels is largely up to you. You can run and gun with reckless abandon, or say use a loud shotgun burst to lure nearby enemies into your path. Whatever you choose, the engagements are exhilarating. Though planning your attack will net the best results, the intense visuals, thumping soundtrack, and score multiplier will seduce you into risking it all for one glorious foolhardy charge. Clever level design and increased enemy variety make these engagements more interesting than before. Halls and rooms have more interesting angles, extra windows, more open areas, and multiple lanes for enemies to approach from, while better enemy placement creates increased diversity in the types of engagements you'll encounter. The melee-resistant dogs return, as do the fat enemies, which are impervious to anything other than bullets, but they're joined by a bullet-ducking samurai, running enemies who leap to close the distance, and a selection of level-specific mini-bosses. In fact, variety is what Hotline Miami 2 is all about. While the first game was largely centered around one single mask-swapping protagonist massacring operations run by the Russian mob, Hotline Miami 2 Wrong Number darts back and forth between dozens of characters and locations. This constantly shifting pace and variety allows Hotline Miami 2 to be more restrictive in other ways. Though you can sometimes choose from a small selection of weapons or characters before a level, for the most part you're forced to play the character as the story sees fit. No longer can you choose the Tony the Tiger mask to silently take down people in every single level. Instead, the game encourages you to get better at shooting by forcing you to play as more run-and-gun characters. And what to say about the story? Well, for one, there's a lot more of it. The original game intentionally obfuscated what was going on behind an unreliable narrator and secret endings, and much of that continues here. Callbacks to the first game, shifts in perspective, along with furious timeline swapping, means that all of this reads a lot better on a second playthrough. But truly, the story just plays its part in creating a surreal experience that's best enjoyed by letting it wash over you. Hotline Miami 2 is a challenging, often difficult game, but playing through its various levels is so enjoyable that dying rarely feels like it's a punishment. The game's grading system gives you an excuse to return to levels, but its style is an even more inviting reason to play again and again. The experience is so audio-visually seductive that you'll find yourself replaying zones just for the sake of it. The soundtrack sees returning artists such as Perturbator and Jasper Byrne supplying a breath of synth and techno tracks alongside a host of new musicians. And not only is this music as exceptional as the first game, but there's also a lot more of it. In fact, there's a lot more of everything in this game. I completed the original Hotline Miami in about 3 hours, but by the time the credits had rolled in Hotline Miami 2, I'd registered almost 9. And this was before I'd started over with the unlockable hard mode, and before I'd toyed around with the game's level editor, which is currently in the alpha testing stage. In almost every way, Hotline Miami 2 is a marked improvement on an already tremendous formula. This is a game that had me pumping my fists and laughing with joy throughout my time with it, and I was left despondent by the time it drew to a close. A gutsy, refined game that isn't scared to force you into corners and watch you battle out of them. And an audio-visual experience that marries graphics, music and design so well that even the pause menu is a work of art.